One's a big fat book, one is very small. One contains the names of those going to heaven, one the names of those going to hell. Which do you suppose is which?
You're going to heaven.
Yeah, the big fat one is hell, the little bitty one is heaven. These people are being bodily resurrected, upward movement into heaven, downward movement into hell. Here's the cross Christ is crucified on, the crown of thorns placed on his head, the pillar upon which he's bound and beaten. Those above the clouds here are the saved, those down below the damned. Let's take a look at some of the saved. The woman in blue next to Christ is Saint Mary, the Virgin Mary. The big man with the keys, Saint Peter. Look at his body. Looks a bit like Peter Schwarzenegger, no? John the Baptist, the ascetic who lived in the desert eating only locusts and honey. Looks like he found some protein supplements. Making a bit of a joke, but it's to emphasize how different this is than, say, a Botticelli, delicate, lithe, and slender figures. These Herculean figures struggling up against their own destiny. The man here with the Greek cross is the patron saint of Scotland and Greece. That is Saint Andrew. The man here has a barbecue grill. Those in the Roman Forum yesterday, anyone happen to remember who that is? Saint Lawrence, 258. They grilled him alive in the Roman Forum. Patron saint of cooks and chefs in the Catholic faith. The man here is bald and bearded. The face he's holding, though, on the skin, that's Saint Bartholomew. He's skinned alive. But the face on the skin does not match the face of the man holding it. Why? Because the face on the skin is the distorted self-portrait of Michelangelo. He puts his face on the dripping skin. More figures. Catherine of Alexandria, we tried to put her to death on a wheel of torture. Saint Blaise, they raked out his throat for preaching the gospel, patron saint of sore throats. Saint Sebastian, shot full of arrows. The Cyrenian, forced to help carry hit the cross of Christ. Paul is with Peter. Everyone else goes to hell. Take a look at this guy. He's called the Guy Without Hope. Look at the posture and pose of that figure. It is directly influential on a modern piece of sculpture. The Thinker by Rodin. This is Chadha, the mythical boatsman who used to ferry people across the river Styx. Here he's using his oar as a weapon, smacking people into the mouth of hell. And then finally here, before the gates of hell, this is the gatekeeper to hell, Minos. When Michelangelo is painting, the Pope originally comes in with a guy named Cardinal Biagio. He's the master of ceremonies here at the Vatican. He says, Cardinal, what do you think of my altar wall? He says, Holy Father, with all due respect, with all of these naked figures up here, when these figures are originally painted, Peter is naked, Paul is naked. They didn't dare touch it up during Michelangelo's lifetime. But literally the year he died, they hired a man named Daniele from Volterra to paint loincloths on the figures. History calls him the underpants painter. So when Michelangelo's painting, the Pope comes in with Cardinal Biagio. He says, you know, these paintings are better fit for a brothel than a church. Michelangelo doesn't say anything. He just picks up the brushes and he paints the features of the cardinal as the gatekeeper to hell. He gives him big donkey ears and sort of say, I heard you. And there's a snake wrapping around his body and it's chomping on him where it would hurt for a man to be chomped on. Biagio comes in, he sees himself as the chomped on gatekeeper to hell, and he's not happy. He goes to the Pope, he said, make Michelangelo change it. He said, my friend, I'm the Pope. As such, I have the keys to the kingdom of heaven. If Michelangelo had painted you up in heaven, I could help you out. But he put you down in hell. Satan is the prince of hell. It's out of my jurisdiction. He still is the gatekeeper to hell. The man who never wanted to paint ends up painting about 770 square meters, almost 8,000 square feet of fresco. It took 12 artists working from 1980 until 1994 to clean it. When they cleaned it, they were shocked at what they discovered. They thought Michelangelo was a master of the human form. They didn't think he was concerned with color. When they cleaned it, they realized they were wrong. He was a great colorist as well. Questions?